Karunakar Reddy Garu from Walk for Water organization. So, sir is a wonderful tech agent. Is very enterprising and very dynamic. He believes in the simplicity of ideas. The simpler the idea, it's easy to scale it up. So he worked closely with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Garu, and he sees him as his guru. In his memory, he started Green India Challenge in the year 2018, July 27, the date when Kalam Garu passed away. He started with the simple thought of asking a person to plant trees and invited them to share that message and to three of their friends. And all of you might have seen that Green India Challenge is everywhere in social media, and starting from celebrities to sports persons to politicians. So it has become global too with the name Green Challenge. And apart from that, he believes in the spirit of enterprise, and all his life, water is something, one cause which is deeply connected with. Why? Because during his childhood, he along with his family has struggled a lot for water, and he used to shoulder those big cans and bring water to his home. So he started Walk for Water and also the enterprise Smart India Private Limited, with the vision to give affordable and clean drinking water to as many as possible. And apart from that, in any instance of natural calamity, be it Uttarakhand floods or Kerala floods, the first call from Government of India goes to him, and his equipment is airlifted, the water is purified, and it is served to the people there in need. So he's a multi-faceted personality, and the spirit of problem solving that he has, that's amazing. And thank you so much, sir, for being a part of the panel. I now invite Karunakar Reddy Garu to address the audience.
Mind pollution is the biggest thing which is really causing all the other pollutions. Okay. So coming to today's topic discussion about CSO's role in mitigating or reducing the climate impact. So I born in Mahbubnagar district, United Mahbubnagar district. Now it is also divided my district into 4 different districts. Now it is comes under Vanaparthi. Born in mid-70s, and luckily born the bank of the Krishna perennial river, where the perennial river meaning was not really correct at that particular time, because only during the monsoon time the river used to flow, and during the summers it is very small branch, small canal kind of thing we used to happen. And just 3 kilometers away from my home, that perennial river, but we used to have acute insufficient DNA. We used to struggle a lot to fetch water for human consumption as well as our cattle consumption, because earlier in our rural villages, we all know that, okay, it is a Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Not only humans, along with humans, a lot of cattle and other things, all together they live in a single home. So we need to take care of all of them. So humans as well as. So I born in a farmer family. So most of the time, so whenever I get free from some kind of home activities, then only I need to perform my schooling and all. That used to be. So most of the time I used to spend a lot of time, as because said right now that my time used to consume a lot to fetch water from almost 75 to 80 steps deep well. And we used to use the pot, the behind my screen used to, you can see that is a metal pot that I used to collect from the clay pots. Okay, Urlalo, in the villages you can see that, okay, it was made by the experts, you know, that kind of different kind of mud used for them to even all the purpose, like utensils, kitchen equipments, okay, storage of water for drinking, even fetching water purpose, all the purpose we used to connect a lot with the nature. Nothing was waste. And when I was young, I used to see that, okay, we used to buy only salt, because salt, we are not very near to seashore and all this thing, only salt. Rest everything goes out from the village. Nothing comes in, including milk and all these things. Now it is completely reverse. So you can see in my village, nothing is available in homegrown or local grown, and everything we buy from outside, including milk. So as I completed my schooling in my own village, then I did my college in a nearby city called Vanaparthi, which is district headquarters right now. Then I did my graduation. And after my graduation, then I got an opportunity to work for a soft drink company. In that soft drink company, I learned that, okay, what kind of the same thing which is happening, how multinationals are looking Indian market. So because it is, all the resources are becoming commodities, and multinationals are making every resource as a commodity. As we know that water is a natural resource. Now we are using as a commodity, because nothing is free. Even nature gives free, but we as humans are polluted a lot, and we don't get a clean drinking water or anything. That's why we need to buy. It's become a commodity, and day by day, it is decreasing availability and all, and then it is increasing the pollution, and it is growing a lot. The water industry is growing. Today is almost 3 trillion globally, and it is every year it is growing a lot. By seeing this, okay, came from a rural background. Okay, we don't have an infrastructure, like we don't have a pakka houses. There is no proper pipeline infrastructure. Nothing was there. Then how a poor person, because India lives in its villages, more than 80%. When I was talking, now it is almost 65 to 70% India lives in the village. But here the basic facilities are not available. But how we can really able to serve my family fellows. So then when I was working in a multinational, then I started thinking about this, and I got an opportunity to launch in a water brand. Today is a famous water brand in the market. I got an opportunity to be part of that activity. Then I understand. Then I thought that, okay, I came from the village. Then how can I really address this problem? The problem is, what in my mind is, how I can really reach to the last mile with a quality product, and how I can make an accessible and affordable, because rural area affordability is very difficult. Accessibility is difficult. So this was the back end running in my mind. Then I need to do some kind of solution for this. Passion and compassion both come together. Then I was always used to think about this. Then I need to address this problem. That time I was nothing to know about what is happening, climate change, global warming and all these things. Okay, it was just my passion and compassion, how I can really serve my village, because like that, my village, there are 1 million plus villages in India, almost 6 lakhs revenue villages in India, and hamlets and all this thing, it's more than 1 million, and 80% of the villages is the same, plus or minus here and there. If you see that Rajasthan and all this thing, they may walk approximately 5 to 6 kilometers an average. And most of this work used to get this by girls, females, because females are in India, as we know that, okay, they are less given a priority, and they are homemakers and all this thing. So even I seen that, okay, in my village, very less girls used to come to the school, and boys come to more, and less population of girls, because girls used to take care of their home needs like cloth washing and other things. So this is given my idea. I was having a lucrative job, getting a satisfied salary and all this thing, but I was not really happy when I go back to home at Diwali or Dussehra or something like that. Lives are not changed, even though if in Hyderabad I got an opportunity to open a tap at my home kitchen. But if you go to the whole village, and then same, you need to take this clay pot and go to 70-80 steps down the well and you need to get water. So that was always thinking a point for me. And then one fine day I realized and I decided to leave that whatever lucrative activity I was doing and selling colored water. Then why don't I make affordable clean drinking water to my villages like that? Then this idea given me that to launch SMART, Sai Malhar. Sa means Sa. Sa is Sarigama. Sa means good. Malhar means the music in Karnataka. Ragam, it is Malhar is called as a peace. Okay, good peace in a water and air technology, because water and air is the futuristic big challenges which we are going to encounter and we are encountering almost. So this was my 2 decades back idea. Then I started Smart India alone as a technology company. Initially, I started domestic, institutional, industrial, then I commercial also. Then I started go for a community based, go to the villages because that was my end point. Till that to reach that area, so you need to have basic sustainability. That's why I work for a commercial and industrial segment. Then I immediately moved into commercial, the community based. Here in a community based, I was told that water is not just water. Water is health. Water is education. Water is empowerment. Water is happiness. Because if you have a clean drinking water, as we know, 80% diseases from water only. So if an adult of the family is sick, then entire family used to forcefully go to fast because there is no food enough. Because if the family head is not going to work, even school dropouts, so many things are happening. It is not just water. Water is going to address every problem. That's why I key in more and interest. I was not even really stayed long on that particular area. I had to start this thing. And then initially I started, got an opportunity by God blessings and grace, and I got an opportunity to work big companies. That time nobody was interested to listen my business model and all. Government, you forget about government, even instead of reaching to the government, because government is not really interested to provide mineral quality drinking water because it is a luxury product in their idea. That's why I approached good people like Dr. Reddy, Sanji Reddy, and other big people, corporates, even by Raju Foundation. That time they accepted my idea. They supported initially. Over a period of time that we started 1-2 villages. It takes 3 to 6 months to install 1 village, 2 village, and all this thing because we need to educate people. Something like that. Then I started going this numbers into big. And over a period of time, then I got an opportunity to took blessings of the first people president of our nation, the proud Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He was really impressed about my idea, and he was really seeking this kind of affordable technologies because last mile delivery is most important this thing, and water is the one which is going to be really make a vital role. Then when I given my presentation, I got an opportunity. Then he is really applauded my idea, and then he said, "Okay, I am also part of. Let's work together," because his dream project was Pura, providing urban facilities in rural area because education, quality health, and quality life is most important. Okay, in a Pura. So it is synced that, and Dr. Kalam sir used to tell a lot of people whenever he is introduced many of the great people, my idea and all this thing. A lot of people visited me and they seen and they appreciated. They given so many ideas and all these things. That's why Dr. Kalam ji has transformed my idea into a bigger one. Today, almost 15,000 plus communities are getting a clean drinking water. More than 1.5 crore families at very affordable. It is even lesser than a tea. Today, anywhere you can buy a tea at a cost of minimum 10 rupees. And but my 20 liters of water for a family, still today in Maharashtra, we are able to provide 2 rupees and some places 5 rupees, 6 rupees. Maximum price is 6 rupees for 20 liters, mean 30 paisa per liter, which is completely very, very affordable. And one fine day, I taken this idea and success story to Dr. Kalam. So he said that who is the poorest of the poor person can afford this technology. I said, sir, the poorest of the poor person in the society is the beggar because he always beg money at something, he lives on that. But beggar is also is affordable, sir, because he is also paying money and he is also doesn't have a change. Sometimes he used to give 1 rupee for 2 liters. So something like that. So that is the real game changer. The Kalams are appreciated. Then I started when I working in a villages and all this thing. I seen that lot of abuse used to happen because wherever there is this disruptive technologies like power bore wells. Okay, earlier used to have a hand pumps. Okay, hand pumps we need to manually hand pump, but then only water will come. So once the electricity and electrifying is happening more and more, and power pumps and submersible pumps started coming, but nobody is taking accountability. And finally, what happened when our purpose of providing a safe drinking water and sustainability, then it is most of the time during the summer, all the water used to pumped out from the groundwater. There is no fresh water going inside because we are using our lifestyle changes happen. Lot of revolutions are came. Pesticides started using, fertilizers started using. So many things are happening. So over a period of time in a rural area, water getting a raw water itself, it is very difficult. Then what we started, how we can really tackle this problem. So one problem, if you are addressing one problem, another problem is already started. So most of the summer, during the summer, you see in Latur area and all, even in Telangana, in Mahbubnagar, especially my district, Mahbubnagar, even Anantapur, these places never used to get water. Even for cattle, drinking water is very difficult. Then we started, why don't we conserve water? Because that particular time I taken studies and all these things, almost we are not conserving water, and most of the rainwater, because we are in India and we have a sufficient average annual rainfall is 800 mm, but we are still really struggling for water. So what is the point behind in this thing is I seen that, okay, agriculture is the one which is really contributing a lot of share in this. So water is a global problem, but a solution is only local. We cannot import a technology or something from that from any other foreign country or something. We have to have a solution from locally. Like that, what we did, we started a global problem coming into local. How can we do a conservation? So then we started wherever our plants are there, and in that particular village, meeting the youth, local youth, and all these things. Then conveying them in a proper way, understanding them in a proper way. Then we started Walk for Water, because the name came as a Walk for Water is save water, restore ecological balance. If you don't save water or conserve water or recycle water, the ecological system, entire ecosystem is going to be disturbed. That's why we started this with a campaign caption called Save Water, Restore Ecological Balance. Then what we did in this, first what we did, we need to commit people, because people is the one. People, without people participation as an organization or anything, nothing can be do. So we did successful this 15,000 villages only because of people participation, and not as a commercial organization or nothing. So we need to involve people, especially youth of this country, because youth of this country, we believe that's game changers, because India highest youth population. And youth, if youth want to change anything, they can really change this thing. By believing this, we started initially, we did a water pledge going to the schools, because schools are the one which is really students, then really they understand their, if we inculcate in a right idea in their minds, okay, like my earlier speaker, Captain Karunakar Reddy Garu says that, okay, some of the organization really game changers, like RSS. RSS is the one which is I nurtured initially in my childhood. Then like that, okay, going to the schools, make them nurture the students and all, and giving them the importance of water, give some kind of project work and essay writings and even whatever. So like that, what we used to do, we used to get connected with the students. Once you get a student connection, then you can connect with their families and fathers and other people. Like that, 1-2 villages is we started, and we started rainwater harvesting during the monsoon. All the water used to go, and during the summer and all this thing. 2-3 years, they seen that a lot of impact. So like that, what we did, we given a lot of water pledge kind of campaign, and that is really gone globally. So almost through Earth Day network and all this thing, more than 100 countries participated. We took part as a UN World Water Day. Okay, every year with a new theme and all. So we are very happy to announce, say that more than 30,000 rainwater harvesting structures are constructed. What we did in the beauty of this thing is, wherever there is a dried up borewells, earlier there was a borewells which used to give water, and it is dried up because of not properly maintained or not given a recharging and all this thing. We taken majority of them and we converted them into a useful, because earlier it used to be almost the killing stations, like the small kids used to go and play, and they used to get down in the borewell pumps and all this thing, and this kind of this thing, manholes or something like this. So during this particular time, what we did, our objective and business model itself, it is a triple P model, triple bottom line, 3P model. It is first we took people, and then we care and concern about the planet, because when we look about the people, we need to look about the planet. Then most importantly, sustainability means profit. Whatever I'm going to do, I do all measurements in the bottom, but on the top line, whether I'm making money or not. If I'm not making money, because tomorrow I'm not going to be there, I'm going to disappear. So sustainability is most important. That's why in my business model, whatever I do, I always look into a sustainability. Not making a lot of profits and all this thing. At least, can I really make this project sustainable or something like that? Or whoever stakeholders are taking time and all this thing, whether I'm able to give them a compensation, fair compensation or not, something like this. So after SMART as a social enterprise, then I, with passion, we started Walk for Water as campaign. It is as a CSR arm of the Smart India. So no private funding, no any other involvement and all this thing. Even whenever we do rainwater harvesting structure, we made an affordable cost. Because if it is going in a private area, it may be almost 30,000-40,000. We made around 5,000-6,000, even 50,000, 60,000, even corporates are also. But what we used to do, we used to take our expenses, not in a profit in that, because it is in a CSR arm of Smart India. Then what we did, we understand that, okay, when we are going to address this water problem, and what we need more monsoons to be come and all these things. Luckily, what happened, one particular time in the year 2014, I was one of the event I participated with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. And Dr. Kalam sir says that, okay, youth of India is the game changers. So then what we did, we need to educate people, and education should engage them, because our academics and all these things, whatever our formal education is not really engageable. So how to engage means we need a different definition for education, not just an academic and all this, something lifestyle education or something like that we need to bring. So that's why we started Igniting Minds. That particular time, I was one of the participants in the plantation program. That particular time, India have more than 100 crore people. If 100 crore people come forward to plant each one, at least plant one, we can, without participation, without involvement of anybody, we can really add 100 crore saplings on this Indian subcontinent or something like that. So that was just an idea. Then after over a period of time, because we are already engaged in a lot of other things, and we are not really participated, and we are not really taken into consideration of that. Because we seen that, okay, Millennium Development Goals from 2000 to 2015, we seen that, okay, Millennium Development Goals are not able to really achieved in a proper way. Then we came into Sustainable Development Goals. Then we seen that Sustainable Development Goals, along with GRI guidelines, global initiative, reporting initiative, that how corporates are really looking into how they are spending money or all these things. By that time, even Government of India brought 2013 or 14 this CSR policy of 2% profit. All this came into picture and all this thing. Still, whatever governments and other things are bringing up policies and all, we know that without people participation, we cannot bring any change. That's why what we used to do always, people participation is most important. So passionate people need to be come into that. Like that, Walk for Water campaign what we did we did a million march kind of activity in 22nd of March in Hyderabad from you can say that Hayat Nagar to Patan Cherut and Shamshabad to ECIL. So human chain, okay, for a solidarity and all that. Like so many things we did, and we really brought lot of positive impact. Approximately 1,300 million liters as of now people pledged and saved water. Then I said now that when we after meeting Dr. Kalam, then in the year 2015 we finally lost him, and his last speech, okay, the livable planet Earth is the last IIM Shillong in 27th July 2015. So his last speech we taken as a mission. And then we understand that how to connect people, because his idea is to, if 100 crore people can come and part of this plantation program, simply we can add 100 crore plants. Why we are not able to do? Then we given a lot of idea and thought process, like our one of our the expert here, Vikas and other Kishore, a lot of people who are experts in Walk for Water. We made Walk for Water is really a global movement. We really achieved commendable, great things without investing any money. One thing is, great thing is, we never ever collected money from anywhere. That's what. So then over a period of time, then we thought, why don't we give a thought process, like we need to connect a logic. By the time what I did, I seen floods in Kashmir. Okay, I was there in during Kashmir with Indian Air Force C-30 aircrafts. 3 times they came, especially from Delhi to Hyderabad, Begumpet Airport, and to just airlift my water treatment plants. We were there along with my team. And after that, West Bengal, after that, Kerala floods recently in the year 2018, everywhere. So we know, okay, everybody knows, okay, global warming reality, but people are not able to understand. That's why what we did in the year 2018, after third Punyatithi and a death anniversary after Dr. Kalamji, we want to come up with an idea, innovative and a fun kind of game. It is Green India Challenge. That Green India Challenge is nothing but we connected a logic. Each one plant 3 and nominate 3. So each one plant 3. Why we need to? People ask why we need to plant 3 minimum. If you are why you want to plant minimum 3? Because every human being consumes 280 kgs average oxygen per annum. So each plant, a 3-year plant or some sapling, it will become a plant, will give sufficient approximately 100 kgs of oxygen. So to substitute your own this thing, okay. So if you want to buy during the corona, everybody knows the value of the air. Okay, lakhs of rupees hospital bills, then they understand, okay, air is also this much expensive. Then in the year 2008 only, we said that if you want to buy this air in the hospital or something like that, you need to pay approximately 8 lakhs rupees. So nature is giving it a free of cost. Why don't you at least plant 3 from your side? Like that the fun kind of this thing. What we did initially, we started on 27th of July 2018. And because by the time our state government is the flagship program Harita Haram, most of the government officials also not very happy, because people participation is not there. Whenever whatever government schemes announced, then people think that, okay, it is government activity, why should I participate? Then we combined both of them. Then what we did, we tell the people that we need to be part of this activity. Then people come forward, and it is successfully, we did almost 4 years without any single stop. If we, as on today, approximately this one plant become 145 million saplings across the globe. And approximately, we are not even individually measured this thing, approximately 2,465 million liters of carbon it is absorbing. Here, what we seen that ours 80% plus survival rate, because whoever planting 3, they are nurturing them 3 years. So more than 80% survival, we taken as a conservative figure. and 13,266 liters of oxygen these plants are producing. And the great fun thing is we never invested up money on the anything. We may invested small pocket and traveling and all these things here and there, but we are not really taken any grant, any fund from anybody. But luckily, because of passionate people, committed, passionate people, I believed Dr. Kalam's a lot of words like if you have handful of people, bunch of people committed for the cause, and if it is really is going to solve the problem, then you need not to worry about this thing. That's what in the year 2002 itself, I got this message from Dr. Kalam, and I believed him 100%. And that's why I made a lot of impact in terms of environment, in terms of agriculture, in terms of clean drinking water, anything. As in today, I'm really feel proud and happy being not just creating so much impact, and I really able to get so many like-minded people around the globe. Today, one of my colleague, okay, he's representing as an observer in COP26. Okay, one of these, our associate editor of Igniting Minds, and Rituraj Bukan, and co-founder of Walk for Water. Like that, we have climate reality leaders. So many. On the other day, Mr. Pradeep Karturi is also one of the guy. When he was crowdfunding and all this thing, we were really with him, and we encouraged him to do an expedition of Antarctica. Then Raghu is also one of the guy. Many of them, see, like-minded people, we are able to connect with our noble cause. Okay, that's what I feel very proud and happy, because I think I am taken a lot of time. Thank you so much for this session. Probably we may take this into next level, because we've seen global warming reality, and a lot of people are able to understand what is happening in and around within us. And probably we all together, we may make impact and make this world as a livable planet for the next generations. Thank you so much.